Recently, the Cleveland Music Group held a benefit at Peabody's Down Under to raise money for operations and to highlight some local groups.
My life starts in your Mercedes-Benz. We drive all night with your half-ass crazy friends. Drop me off at my back door, back in bed and dream some more.
The Gangsters of Blues have been together in one iteration or another for about 4 years. Their story of a band struggling to make a splash in a very large music pond is typical.
Man, I got the blues!
It's a funny catch-22, whereas everybody wants you to have product, but you have no money, and in order to have the kind of product you want, it takes money. So you find yourself out clubbing every night, making a meager existence, and you get real good, but you run a chance of burning yourself out by getting on each other's nerves.
Some of the people out of town, they come in, you know, national acts, they hang out, and they're like starting to be a little surprised that you can actually make money locally around here. There's enough clubs for, you know, jazz, reggae, blues, rock, you know, there's clubs everywhere in Cleveland.
Cleveland's a bar band town, and musicians in Cleveland are in bar bands or in copy bands because there's very little chance. They know there's very little chance of being recognized for doing what they would rather be doing. We do need the people who live here to support what we're doing, to support what Cleveland bands are doing. The clubs have got to know that if they book local bands, the people will come out and see them.
The key to it is us and every other band that has any product of their own and any identity of their own, to make it nationally known that this is no little either steel farm town, or it's still perceived as murder capital of the universe. I think if anybody could break out of this city, it's going to be an emotional band. And if we aren't emotional, then lobotomize me.
Everything gonna be alright. Ah, yeah, everything's alright. It's when we get together, baby, make love dance we. Ha. Hey, baby, let me hold you.
Is there any kind of scene in Cleveland? Hell yeah, there's a scene in Cleveland. They're gangstering people all over the place. If it's a murder capital of the world, let me be the guy that's kicking all the ass.
I do things to you, baby, make me a happy man. All right, come on, give it to me.
I'm just weary of being passed over because people think Cleveland is just a zero town. There's no music coming out. If you don't leave it, you can't make it. The powers that be, whoever they may be in the city, needn't say, we're bringing them in from the coast, or we're bringing them in from wherever the current sound happens to be. Current sound is right here.
The Gangsters of Blues interpretation consists mostly of original music written by the band, but they also know that the roots of rock and roll come from the likes of Muddy Waters, Willie Dixon, and the King himself.
Well, since my baby left me.
A year and a half ago, Randy and I went on vacation. Randy, Leonard, you around? And it was her vacation, actually. And were we married or divorced then?
We divorced.
We've been married and divorced a couple, 3 times.
I found a new place to dwell.
No, that's when we started to get back together, and we went to Graceland.
It's down at the end of the lonely street.
We did the tour, and we're down around there, and we came back up, and we said, it's time to do the king of rock and roll.
Heartbreak Hotel, where I get lonely, baby. I get lonely. Get so lonely, I can die. So if your baby leaves you, find a new place to dwell. Take your broken heart down to that Heartbreak Hotel.
I just wanted to play music.
That's right.
And so I did it. And now I'm able, you know, I'm able to survive on it. So, you know, I can't complain too much.
It's so lonely, I can die.
Yeah,
When we came off stage the other night at Peabody's, I looked at Randy and I said, damn it, I wish I stunk, because when we sound this good, there's no way I can quit.
I've been so long on lonely street, I ain't never coming back. Well, now, oh, I get lonely, baby. I get lonely, baby. Yes, I get lonely, baby. Get so lonely, I could die. The doors are always crowded. You can find some room.
That's what being in a band is about. It's about living day to day. We get paid every night, and we go broke every day.
I get lonely, baby. I get lonely, baby. You get lonely, baby. Get so lonely, I can die. Talk to me, gangster.
I think we deserve a king-size break.
Yeah.
Christ, I've been playing for, what is it now, 200-300 years. Honest to God, man.
That's right, Methuselah.
We're about ready. I say we're ready.
The doors are always crowded, but you can find some room for broken-hearted lovers. Cry away in the gloom, and now, hey, I get lonely, baby. I get lonely, yeah. Oh, I get lonely, baby.
I found something that I'm good at. So many people go their whole life and never know that they're good at anything. And that's a tragedy.
So if your baby leaves you, you find a new place to dwell. Take your broken heart down to the Heartbreak Hotel. Well, I get lonely.
It's an emotional life. If it's not turmoil every day, you'd be so messed up and screwed up with the big picture that you just could not take it. By surviving every day like this, trying to look for that whatever's around the corner, keeps you going.
You know, music is it's essentially a sort of a fad, hip type thing. It's like, what's cool now? That's what gets signed. A band gets signed in Boston. 5 to 10 bands get signed in Boston in the next 6 months. Cleveland will have its time, but we're trying to get that time to happen in the next 5 years, maybe.